launch transient from Sierra 1.
Well, g'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and this got interesting quickly. Alright, I think I'm going to get some torpedoes in the water.
From Sierra 2.
We were detected by a Foxtrot. Alright, so a little bit of an update. We are in the...
Sierra 2
we're in
is
the Arctic Circle at this point in time.
Submarine.
We are on our mission to hunt down and sink. What range are we at on these guys? How do we get to 7.5 kilyards? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Total ray retracted. Yeah, we are on our mission to sink our ballistic missile submarine, and we are in the target zone to actually intercept it, and we have 2 Foxtrots, and what are you? What are you?
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
Alright, this is actually our target group, I think. Yankee is a ballistic missile submarine. It's 1960s, early mid 1960s to very early 1970s manufacture. So that, yeah, that's definitely our target. That's our mission objective. We're looking for a ballistic missile submarine. That is a ballistic missile submarine. That is not the ballistic missile submarine I was expecting for the 1983 campaign, though. I was kind of expecting a Typhoon. And I most certainly wasn't expecting friggin' Foxtrots as the escort. How many ships have I sunk? Or how many subs have I actually put on the bottom that Russia is using Foxtrots as escorts? Forget that. How many of the submarines have just broken down? Actually, that's probably a better question, to be perfectly honest, isn't it? Alright, well, this is going to be a problem.
Fire control, weapon acquired. Come right to 1.
Cool. Weapon is on. Cool. Tracking 2. I want torpedo 2 to go through. And what have we got? Bottom's at 800 feet. Alright, let's go to 750.
Make depth 750 feet, dive by.
Now let's leave a countermeasure at the surface while we dive 750. We got double torpedoes coming in on us from the moment this started, so I don't think there's much of a chance of us not getting into a torpedo beat situation here. So countermeasure on the surface. I'm dropping that so that when these guys start searching, they should hear the countermeasure first, and it should keep the torpedoes high while we dive to the bottom.
Steady course.
We have a Moss loaded that I can use to get the torpedoes off us while we're hunting targets. Yankee, top speed, I think it's around 24? That's a whiskey. Yankee. 27. 27 with 14 knot surface speed. Okay, that's fair. So it's not like the Yankee's going to be able to get away from us.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 3. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 3.
And now the Yankee's in on the fight.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 3.
The Yankees is probably the most dangerous thing here, to be perfectly honest. It's got a lot of
sonar,
torpedoes.
Sierra 3 is cavitating.
Why would it be cavitating? What are you doing? Torpedo 2. Alright, so far the torpedo hasn't detected us. Our current depth is about to pass 600 feet.
Con, less than 50 feet below the keel.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Alright, 2's acquired.
Weapon acquired.
Alright, there's the torpedo coming for us. Yeah, it is really shallow here. I have to watch it and make sure it doesn't... Alright, I think this... Oh, torpedo too. What the frig are you doing? Get back on the Yankee. There is no reason for you to be turning off. Oh no.
Make depth 700 feet. Dive high.
I get us a little bit off the bottom.
0 knots. Maneuvering up.
Actually, no. Stop all. We're
Con
gonna just...
sonar lost contact.
Poor.
Sierra 1. Last bearing.
Yeah.
159. Contact breaking up.
This torpedo is giving me the shits. It just continually turns off on its own for no reason. Get back on the Foxtrot.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 206.
Alright, so that's one whiskey down. And we are right there, just off the bottom. And it looks like the second torpedo, which is... I actually can't see it. But I should be able to see me from it. There it is. Alright, a little bit too far out for me to spot, but that's cool. We're fine there. Alright, our torpedo is tracking. The Yankee's screwed here. It's not fast enough, and it has no room to maneuver. I mean, look at the shadow. Shadow to surface. It's almost as long as the depth that it's playing in at the moment.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 210.
There we go. We got the Yankee in the side. And that's it, it's on the bottom. And it's trying to float itself, but it's flooded on the back end. Okay, cool. Well, the Yankee's not going anywhere now. Let's turn directly into these torpedoes.
Come right to 202. Helm aye.
Not that we're moving anywhere at the moment. What are these running at? They're running near the surface as best as we can tell. Alright, so next shot's got to go through to... Now we really need to put the Yankee down. Even though it's on the bottom like that, its torpedo tubes are still up. Well, it's almost managed to get itself off the bottom. No, sinking back in again. Back end's flooded too much. Yeah, right, so that's penetrated. If the layout is similar to ours...
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Yeah, it's in the pump room. We've blown the... If it's got a very similar layout for it, we've blown its pump room. And we've got flooding in likely the pump room, potentially in the engine bay, and potentially in the reactor. So he's having a really, really, really bad day. Now, I'm actually going to have to activate this. Because otherwise, this torpedo is going to hit the bottom. This one's what I'm concerned about. That is coming practically right for me. There it is there. If we can get past this torpedo, we've got this. Well, I'm pretty sure we've got this anyway, but if it gets past this, I'll actually change depth back up to 600 feet and increase to 5 knots, and we'll get a second torpedo in the morning in the water to chase down the other Foxtrot. Looking good so far. I'm gonna let torpedo. Oh, maybe we should take our. Yeah, the Yankee's not going anywhere. We'll get this torpedo around, and we'll actually go for the Foxtrot. Because the Foxtrot looks like it's actually opening up a fairly decent gap on us here at the moment. I don't want to get too far away. It's running near the surface, that's fine. Yeah, it looks like we are good. There it is. Torpedo has not seemed to have detected us at all. Oh, we got lucky with a couple of those. Alright, let's change our depth to 600.
Depth 60. Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Make
Go 5.
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
So we go to 550. Let's get us up off the bottom of the lot.
0 feet. Dive I.
And
Shoot 2-2. Aye, sir.
second torpedo away. They should be enough. One more torpedo into the Yankee to kill it. Look at this odd path. Because it's continually dragging its ass across the bottom. Looks like it gets just enough to lift itself up.
On, helm, steady course.
And then it drops in and it catches its own rear and just can't go any further. There it goes. It's getting buoyant again. It's sort of bouncing back up off the bottom. So it's just bouncing across. That, for the record, should actually be destroying the bottom of the submarine, but if I tried to do that, it would sink my boat. Alright, 13 minutes remaining on Torpedo 1. Again, I'm going to get Torpedo 2 to go active sooner so we can change its depth, and we're going to turn it in. It's going to go after the Yankee and finish it off. Alright. Torpedo 1
sonar, noisemaker, bearing,
is tracking.
219.
Or he's still
fire
trying to
control,
catch up
weapon
with
countermeasure
Sierra
homing.
2.
Con, fire
Torpedo
control,
2.
weapon countermeasure homing.
Well, it was tracking the Yankee. Now it's tracking that's been blown by the countermeasure, but it's not going to make a difference because that thing is not going anywhere. This is less of a kill shot and more of a just putting it out of its misery at this point, I think. If we're in deeper water, it would already be over. Like, it's continually sinking. It doesn't have the buoyancy to get itself at the surface. It's already tried to blow its ballast, and it wasn't enough. So this is a case of, if we were in deeper water, that would have been a kill shot. It would have sunk to crush depth. And let's bring it in, and we're going to put it in the bow.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3.
There we
last
go.
Bearing 219. Contact breaking up.
See, there you go. It's nice and level now. Equal amount of water in both ends. The ballast has been solved. I corrected your issue. I've caught up to the Foxtrot finally. We have 7 minutes and 27 seconds remaining on Torpedo. We are having to play with some countermeasures here at the moment, but that's not unexpected. This is really odd. A Yankee and 2 Foxtrots. A Foxtrot escort to a ballistic missile submarine. I would have expected at least a couple of Victors. Minimum. You know, I was fully expecting 2 Victor 3s and a Typhoon, but a Yankee and 2 Foxtrots. This is. Yeah, I'd expect that out of the 1968 campaign. This is odd. Regardless, torpedo is tracking.
Less than 50 feet below the keel.
Whoa, really?
Con sonar, noisemaker.
Make
Go
depth
450 on mine?
450 feet.
Must need a
dive
shallow
by.
point. Whoa,
Con,
okay.
torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky with the countermeasure. I actually couldn't bring that back fast enough. Nicely done. Alright, let's turn it back.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Alright, torpedo is back on target.
Con sonar, lost contact.
Gotcha.
Sierra 2, last bearing 224. Contact breaking up.
And there we have it.
Con, dive at 450 feet, dive high.
Alright, second escort down, and, well, that's the Yankee down too, so that should be it. If this is the last mission, that should be the end of the campaign. Alright, so, after action report for the USS Grayling. 1 Yankee, 2 Foxtrots sunk, 16,500 tons. We still have 11 Mark 48s on board and 3 Moss. We didn't have to use them. 50,000 experience gained. Mission update. Excellent job on intercepting and destroying the Soviet boomers under less than ideal conditions. Actually, that was about as ideal as they can get. Stand by for further orders. Red Rebellion. Tens of thousands of protesters, mostly in the Caucasus, Latvia and Estonia, have spilled onto the streets demanding democratic elections and an end to the ongoing conflict with the West. Reports are still sketchy, but witnesses claim severe crackdowns by local authorities have done nothing but incite further protests. This sounds awfully familiar. The political destabilization behind the Iron Curtain has had noticeable trickle-down effect on the front lines, and NATO forces have taken advantage of the situation. Soviet opposition appears to be wavering as defections across the lines into the west are increasing day by day. This also sounds really familiar. This looks like this might be it. War gets civil. The war with the West has come to an abrupt halt. The Soviet Union fractures, with some regions even falling into civil war. NATO forces have moved quickly, regaining lost ground all the way back to pre-war borders. Attempts are made to contain the volatile situation and aid civilians streaming out of the former Soviet Union. This unexpected end of the conflict comes as a shock to analysts who admit the power of the people has been grossly overlooked. Although economically wrecked with her satellite states breaking off, Russia remains a formidable military power, but for now the Cold War is over. Alright, so in this particular engagement, or this particular universe, or whichever way you want to put it, the Soviet Union broke up a little bit earlier than it did in our timeline. Cool. Alright, so achievements to date. Commander Hugh Jas, USS Grayling, SSN 646. Days at War 57. Missions accomplished 20. Land strikes 0. Insertions 1. Capital ships sunk 1. Other warships sunk 27. That should have been 2. I missed a capital ship really early on. That sucked. It was Kiev. Submarine sunk 53. Merchant sunk 7 for a total of 88. Total tonnage 449,940 tons. Final outcome. Upon returning back home, you're hailed as a war hero, receiving requests for interviews and numerous other public appearances. I have no idea why that would happen. Silent service? Not supposed to. Yeah, that seems odd. The rapid collapse of the Soviet Union has ended the Cold War and ushered in an era of lasting peace. Yeah, until the next Cold War. Right, so there we have it. We destroyed the Russians so hard we collapsed the Soviet Union nearly a decade early. Nice. And there we go, roll credits. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Cold Waters DotMod 1983-1984 campaign. It's 1983-95, or is it 84-85? God, I can't remember the year now. Regardless, opinions of DotMod, because this is my first full playthrough of DotMod. This should be, you know, once you've gotten used to the base mechanics of Cold Waters, I think DotMod is the mandatory mod to have. This is significantly better than Epic Mod ever was, by a long shot. Epic Mod was full of small things that just annoyed the crap out of me the whole way through it. You can go back and watch my full playthrough of an Epic Mod playthrough. I think I've got 2 up on the channel, and you can hear the frustration in the voice, particularly on certain things they did to try and up the difficulty that just made the game worse. This, however, has been really good the whole way too. It's not perfect, but you know, it is a mod, and for a mod, you know, if they released the whole game like as retail as DotMod, this would be really good. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I thoroughly recommend DotMod. This has been really good. We're definitely going to do another one of these, but that'll be for another time. Anyways, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and until next time, take care.